Hey girls, just wanted to review the ukies game from last weekend a little bit. We've addressed it a little bit in training, but just to give you the video here, sorry it's a little late, but better late than never. So, first pieces that we're going to look at are just our build up, and from training the other night, want to make sure that you guys see what we're looking at in terms of how do we break them down. So, in this scenario, you can see that they have one, two, three, four players, five players in this press right here. So what's going to be important for us as we're trying to do this is, for this six, whoever it is, I think it's Riley there, to get out of the space and create some area where, these three can have a 3v2, but also where someone else can come in and fill the space. It becomes pretty predictable if we have players standing and not opening up to get there to these spots. The other piece of this is on the initial pass, one of you can get a little closer here so that it's not such a long pass and doesn't give this player time. And again, this isn't the first team we're going to see that presses us. So if we have an idea, thought, and you see how many players they have defending, let's say Kaylin Chaya's right here in close to the post and she gets the ball, she can play quickly there. Soph can come out here and our forward can or go inside and our forward can come and Emmy can just play a simple pass in. So just recognizing that there is plenty of space here for us to be successful here. It's just a matter of, seeing the cues early and finding the open player much quicker and opening up and moving a little bit for each other so we don't get into the situation where we're just giving the ball away on our first or second or third pass after Kaylin plays it in. Similar situation here. Not from a goal kick, but when we see this happen here, as Amel is turning, she's forcing it into five defenders that are against our two forwards. And so it's not a bad effort, but there's got to be ways for us to help her get out of this, whether it's a sideways pass here or a pass on the ground here, rather than just flighting it in, because it just becomes really easy for them to pick up the ball. So again, the point would be, as this ball is cleared, can you take a touch? Can we open up quickly, and try and get into some build up? You're probably under a little bit too much pressure there it's a lot to ask, but we'd rather try and find a pass than be able to put ourselves right back under pressure. So as Avery gets the ball here, we see that she's trying to make something happen, but the key is look how many red jerseys there are. So, is there a way that we can spread them out a little bit more? Maybe Avery, it's just even going on the dribble towards the corner and trying to get a corner out of it. But playing it into that sea of red becomes difficult. Once you receive the ball, maybe so if you just drop off a little bit for her there. In this situation here, we're in perfect build-up scenario with our numbers. We've got a 5v1, 4v1. So in this situation right here, and while it's not a bad effort for ML, it's really important that, Chaya, Naomi, Ella, you tell her, and Alex, I think that is, or Gabby, I'm not sure, but tell her she can turn, because when she receives this ball, if she turns, look at what she's got. She's got all sorts of options. Chaya can get the ball right back. But right now, we're in a 4v1, which is going to end up turning into a jailbreak counterattack for them. So we should be able to keep this ball 4v1 until we find the right opportunity to attack. It's unfortunate, but now we're in a hasty retreat to defend a quick counterattack against a good team. So again, it's not really an issue of trying to play the ball out to Ella. It's more of, hey, can we tell our midfielders to turn because they have time and space in front of them? Similar here, Avery, on once you get past this player here, get on the ball with the effort that you have, it's can we keep the ball? Can you play the ball into Gabby's feet here and see what we can do? Or Lucy, can you join her? And it's a simple pass back. Once we get this ball going this way, now there's options, to play to any of these players or to get a shot off or to play to another midfielder. But again, now we've got them deep in their end. Us trying to go 2v7 is a problem. And it's also a situation where now they have a counterattack going against, our triangle here that we have to stop a counter. And if we don't win the ball, then it's still another jailbreak in a very similar situation. So, again, as we're doing video analysis, it's important to look at little patterns, and forcing play into that area um, where there's a lot of defenders doesn't make a lot of sense. It's better to find some open space and play to a teammate that maybe has some time. So really good build-up shape from you guys here. Now it's just a situation of how do we break this line here? Are we able, Ella or any outside back, can you take them further away and then Celine come in so that this player now has to make a decision? Okay, if she drops back, then it gives Naomi time and space. And then when this player runs to her, she can find Riley. Or, if this player runs to Naomi, then she can just pass it right back to Kaylin, and then Chaya gets out this way. But right now, we're basically playing the ball into a 1v1, which is exactly what any 4-3-3 or any team with three forwards wants you to do. They want you to play the outside back so that they can go presser. So once Naomi starts to carry, see how there's no middle option here. So Celine, if you come in here, or any winger, sorry, anybody who's playing that position, and then Ella, you can go. Now Naomi can either play you and get out, or play this way, or she can play a long ball into Ella in this situation right here. Okay. So into that space. So just another thing to think about, that again, it goes out of bounds, whatever, but just an idea for us, like we talked about last night, is can we solve this build-up scenario a little bit better? So 3 clips on this. Again, looking at patterns. When Kaylin gets the ball, or when a goalkeeper gets the ball, we're telling her to say to everyone up and in, but we know that adrenaline gets the best of all you guys. So sometimes maybe we're not listening to it. So now it's a message to all of you. As soon as Kaylin says up and in, or everybody, I'm going to punt it, we need to make sure things look like this. I'll show you right here. Let me get her up. So this is what we need our team to look like. So we need back 4, 6s, wing, wing, forward, or whatever combination of a 4-4-2. When you have the team here, and I want you to pay attention to where the ball lands on all these 3 clips. When you have the ball in these areas, when you have a team in these areas, you're going to have a better chance to not only win the first ball, but also clean up the second ball. Now you can look at what we do have, and we're not helping the success there to win that second ball because we're not pushed up high enough. And again, leads for them to get a counterattack or to get the ball in possession. Look at our shape in terms of how are we up and in. This is 15 yards out of our goal, out of our 18. We have 3 players on top of the 18, and they have 4 versus our 3 in the middle of the field. You can count them. I won't count them. The ball lands on their foot. Okay. And again, they didn't control it, but they got the ball. So again, we need more help on punts. If a team is really high pressing us and putting us under a lot of pressure, we need to get numbers together for any sort of punt. And it doesn't matter if the punt lands here in this area, doesn't matter if the punt lands here, doesn't matter if the punt lands here. We need to have 7, 8 players around the ball or where the trajectory of the ball is going to land so that we can have a better chance to secure possession and then start our attack. This is the same clip. When Kaylin punts it, look where we're standing. 5 of us are on top of the 18, 1 player in the middle right here, 1 player in the middle, and everybody else up here. It doesn't go that far, so it's important for us to recognize what we need to do in order to help our goalkeeper when she's punting. Here's a very good punt. This next one here from Kaylin, a very good punt. Maybe this was with the wind, but look where it lands and look where our deepest player is, okay? Girls here are doing a good job. We probably want to push up into them a little bit more, but this should be where Naomi is standing, I think, right where Riley's standing. And now we have to defend them all over again when the goalkeeper had the ball and it was our ball, and or we had possession of the ball, and it was a punt where we could get the ball 30 to 50 yards away from our goal, and we're not recognizing that it's a moment that we can be successful. We can find more success on that. So we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. Just our defensive shape here. Once we see how many forwards they have, one forward, one forward, one forward here. Okay, can we start to step up players to defend these players? Okay, can a center back step up here? Can Emmy step up there? Sorry, whoever that is, Ella. Can you step up? Can we step up? Can we step up? Because the idea is we want to force them to play the ball down the line, down that line right there. We don't want to allow them to find all this open space on the other side. And by not forcing them one direction, and sorry, by not stepping up into these players, we're allowing it to become too easy for them to transfer the ball to the other side. Even if they get it to the center back there, that's fine because now we can organize our lines. But again, as she's getting the ball here, we're a little late to get there, and they're able to create some sort of opportunity in possession of the ball. Again, can we keep her going this way? Can we force her to go that way and not overrun her? Again, overrunning her. But again, look how many players we have. Look how many players they have. I'll just do this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they have that many players there. We need to make sure we're stepping up, stepping up, stepping up. And just making sure we don't dive in inside our 18 as well is also very, very important. That's probably a ball. I know we're talking about defensive shape, but Chaya, I think that's you. It's probably a ball that needs to go into some space there and get it away. All right, what do our numbers look like? What's our back four look like? Okay, center back is gone. So center back is gone. Can we get stepped in to the next layer of players? There's one forward that they have here. Your 3v2 right here. 1v1 right there, 1v1 right there. So it's probably okay for us to step in and help out a little bit more, because now look at how they're able to just get out and switch the point of attack. And again, we're overrunning the defensive responsibility. As a forward comes in, let me back up a little bit. This player just needs to be forced out wide, out this way. Okay, they can't hurt us as much if they're going down here. Where they hurt us is when they go up the middle. Got to track the runner. So as soon as this player gets on the ball there, Emmy, once she passes it back and you see this player running, it's your responsibility to protect the space in behind. As much as Soph's going to do the job of tracking her back, we've got to protect the space in behind. And also Naomi's there to cover, but you recognize this. When she passes the ball facing that direction and you see this runner here, we've got to start to drop back a little bit and protect the space in behind. Similar situation here. Our ball, we clear it to them. That's no problem. We're getting up. We're getting up. Now we've got to set our defensive line. So look at our shape. Look at where Kendall is. And then you'll see where our back four is. So Kendall pressured the ball here. And now our back four is there. So we really have to do a better job of pushing up our numbers to make sure we don't give them too much space in behind. Nothing wrong with Emmy stepping there, but we've got to make sure we track this runner and make sure we're behind her, because now it's a full sprint and we could defend this facing it. Keep her out wide. Don't let her cut back into the middle so that they can switch the point of attack. Can we step tighter? Okay, we have plenty of numbers around here. Can we step tighter and get to her quicker is the main question for all of you. If she's going to step to her, we've got to get there quick. We've got to slide. We've got to slide. Okay, so a lot of the defending now, and again, it's a good opponent, and a lot of the defending that we have going on in these clips is reactive defending. And in other words, we are waiting until something happens to us, and then we react and respond. So we want to do what we're saying is proactive. We want to be proactive. We want to step to players immediately. We want to force them one way. We want to make play predictable as much as we can. And the last clip here, just a longer clip, but it's just recognizing again, how many players do we need in our 18 to defend the amount of numbers that they have? Because once they're able to get the ball out of the 18 here, look at their numbers, look at their ability here now to spread us out, which is what we're always asking you guys to do at times. And it's just a ball in behind. And again, look at how many players we have in our 18 to defend instead of stepping up, marking these two is fine, but stepping up. Can we get to her quickly? Can we get to her quickly? Can we step up? Can we get up right now is the question that we're asking you guys. So again, little things we're talking about. Number one, build up. How do we build up against an opponent? When our goalkeeper has to punt it, are we getting our numbers up and in? And then defensively, we need to step to the opponent. Okay, if they have 5 people in around our 18, we need to have 6, but everybody else should be stepping up to the next opponent. So hopefully this is helpful. We'll address some of it tomorrow and get in touch with any questions.